After 7 years traveling as a general x-ray tech, I made a pretty big move. I transitioned into a full-time CT job. And no, it wasn't random. There were a few very specific reasons of why it made the most sense. I made a previous video discussing why I stopped traveling as an x-ray tech, and that definitely had influence on why I transitioned into the CT role. So check that out if you want to get more details about that. But in this video specifically, I want to talk about why I felt it was the right time to finally make that move into CT. So first, I was just ready for a new challenge. And that's the great part about radiology is if you get bored in general x-ray, you get stagnant, you can move on and cross-train into another modality. I've been doing general x-ray for about a decade now, and I love radiography. It built my foundation. But I could just feel myself starting to feel stationary. Not necessarily burnt out. I did feel burnt out during COVID around 2020, 2021. Those years were rough, but things have gotten better since then. But I think just feeling too comfortable. And I'm the type of person, when I get too comfortable, I need to make changes. It's basically my signal that it's time to grow. And general x-ray can be physical. I mean, you're constantly moving patients, doing long portable runs, working in a trauma hospital. I mean, there's a lot of factors that can add up, and certain hospitals, especially if the workflows aren't great and just super busy, you're just constantly on your feet, go, go, go. And I worked at a lot of those hospitals while I was a traveler, and I was just ready for something new. CT still has movement and pace, but it's a different type of pace than x-ray. And especially at this hospital, I felt like the workflows were really good and manageable. It felt like a smarter long-term play, both physically and financially. And yes, pay matters, especially for someone like me who was traveling for the past 7 years, basically being my own boss and making a lot more money than I would have had I just been staff. And travelers deserve to make more money. They're duplicating expenses, they have to be on top of their game, they get minimal training, get thrown into situations, and have to be able to hold their own. So yes, they deserve that money, but it's hard for me to make that transition from traveling to a permanent staff, making a lot less money, basically doing the same job, and having a lot less freedoms. And I'm someone that's always looking to increase my earning potential without working more hours, as we all should. I'm a real person, and yes, I have a YouTube channel called The Nomad Rad, but I am not defined by my job whatsoever. I put family first, and then I put work. So I much rather would be spending time with my family than spending 5 days a week at the hospital. So if I can add a credential, expand my knowledge, and increase my income, to me, that's a win. I don't like staying in one lane forever, and this is why I loved traveling so much, because it continually got me out of my comfort zone, and I always had to be on my toes. After traveling, I always told myself I wasn't going to just settle into a staff x-ray job and just coast. I couldn't just lose pay and lose freedom for doing the exact same job I've been doing for the past decade. If I was going to go permanent somewhere, I was going to grow. I had 4 options at this time. Option number 1 was to look into a new modality. Option number 2 was to look into PACS or IT rules. Option number 3 was to finish my bachelor's and look into more business ventures or leadership roles. And option number 4 was completely random and become a pilot. The last one, becoming a pilot, is just me being super ADHD and wanting to do everything. I've always been super fascinated with aviation, and becoming a pilot is something I've kind of always wanted to do. And here in Minnesota, there are positions called Baylor positions, which is the first time I've ever heard of after traveling 7 years around the country. And a Baylor position means you can work, say, 2 12s on the weekends, but get paid for 36 hours. So you get paid full time. And that to me is like the coolest thing. I mean, yes, you lose every weekend, which that would be a bummer, but you're getting free money. You're getting paid full time for working 24 hours. I mean, come on, how cool is that? So my mind was like, oh, I could work a Baylor shift, work every weekend, and then have Monday through Friday off, and I could do pilot training and get my first class licenses and blah, 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 and eventually become a pilot, and then I could have like 2 jobs. And no, I don't want to work 2 jobs. I mean, I just explained how I'd rather spend more time with family than at work, but I felt like aviation would be like a passion. I would really enjoy learning it, and I could be a pilot full time and then just like work contingent here and there as an x-ray tech to keep my skills up. So that was something I looked deeply into, but at the time it just didn't really make the most financial sense because it is incredibly expensive to do your pilot training. And CT at this point just kind of made the most sense, and the opportunity basically fell into my lap. And that is also the nice thing about radiology. Jobs and opportunities fall into your lap all the time. And really quickly, I want to go off on a short rant because we're talking about financials right now. But hospital pay is generally by years of experience. So here's year 1 pay, here's year 10 pay. So I'm at year 10, so my pay would be here. If you are cross-training into a post-primary credential modality such as CT, MRI, interventional, cardiac cath lab, etc., it still goes by your years of experience. So I'm year 10, say I'm going to go to CT. Would I go to year 1 at CT? No, absolutely not. I would go to year 10 CT. Do I have 10 years of experience with CT? No, I don't. But it always goes by your experience. So don't ever feel like if you're becoming an X-ray tech, you feel like you have to get into CT now. Because a lot of people think, or a different modality now, because a lot of people think that I have 5 years or 6 years of experience. Am I going to drop into the 1 year when I go into a new modality? No, you lose money that way. And if you ever work at a job and they say, yes, you're going to go down to year 1 of a CT tech with 10 years of experience or whatever, absolutely not. Find a new job. But don't let that make it feel like you have to get into this modality right now. No, you can stay in X-ray as long as you want, and then if you decide to go into CT or MRI, those years of experience will transition to there, and you'll be making as much as a 10-year or whatever CT tech, and that's a big pay bump usually. Sorry for that rant, I hope that made sense. So moving on to the hospital now, because the hospital part is a huge factor in transitioning into CT. CT can be insane at the wrong hospital or the wrong healthcare setting in general. I mean, big trauma hospitals, short-staffed places, even outpatient centers that double, triple book their patients, it can feel non-stop, and that is not something I wanted. So I wanted to make sure if I was going into a CT role, the hospital I was at, the workflows were good, the management was good, and it wouldn't feel like I was just going to burn out here eventually. And this hospital that I traveled to here in Minnesota felt like a really good place. The pay was really good, especially for the cost of living. The workflows were great, management was great, and it just kind of all came together that this is something that I could see myself actually transitioning to. And again, honestly, this job just fell right into my lap. Like I said, I was traveling as an X-ray tech at this job. I just started talking to the CT department a little bit. I met with the CT manager there, and they had a position opening that was hours that I wanted. Sometimes career moves don't come from chasing. They come from just paying attention to what's literally right in front of you. And I also just wanted another credential under my belt. There's something powerful about adding another registry to your resume. It increases your skill set, it increases your marketability, and it increases your confidence overall. And I'm all about stacking new skills. And so far, I've really enjoyed it. It's different. It's more anatomy, more pathology correlation, and you just feel closer to the diagnostic process. It's challenged me in a good way, and it's neat to learn the 3D sectional anatomy part of CT rather than just looking at the 2D images of general X-ray. Not saying that X-ray isn't enough, because X-ray is literally the backbone of radiology. But for me personally, I just needed something new because I can't stay still. And I know a lot of people that work their whole careers in general X-ray and they love it, especially the more experience you get, the easier the job becomes. So to wrap this all up, after traveling for 7 years, I knew I wasn't just closing a chapter. I was starting a new one, and CT at that point felt like the right step. Will this be forever? No, probably not, because I like to continually learn, and eventually I'll probably get bored and stagnant with CT. But that will help grow into other potential job openings, and I will always keep my options open, because getting out of your comfort zone and continually learning and expanding your knowledge can take you to places you never could imagine. So this is what I'm optimizing right now, and so far just the stability of having a permanent job will help our future goals of having a family. So take what you want from this, but what I really want you to get out of this video is that there's just so many opportunities with general X-ray, and you're not on a timeline. So you can graduate tomorrow and work in X-ray, or you can graduate tomorrow and go straight into CT or MRI. There's just so many opportunities available and so many different ways that you can go. And the great part about is the older you get, more life events happen. You can just change your job from there. There's so much demand, and there's always something willing to hire an X-ray tech, a CT tech, an MRI tech, someone in education and administration. There's opportunities everywhere. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. If you're a CT tech, let me know if you like it at your hospital. If you're a student, let me know what your plans are. Do you want to go into X-ray? Do you want to go into another modality? The world is yours. So it's really cool. With that said, you guys take care. I'll see you next time. Stay safe and peace.